Have you ever had a piece in your wardrobe and you wanted to wear it, but you didn't know with what? And then you keep on buying clothes and it costs more and more money, but you're still not closer to your goal of wearing everything you have. And at some point it's just a complete waste of money, right? Yeah, I know, and I may have a solution for you because it's been a solution for me. And just in case you're wondering, this is for men and for women. And in a way, the concept I'm going to talk about in this video has saved me hundreds if not thousands of dollars. So if you want to save money on clothes, and or if you're looking for ways to wear more of what you already have but without breaking the bank, or also if you want to build your wardrobe from scratch, then this is a good place to start. Or you're just looking for ways to spend your money more efficiently. In any of those cases, keep watching. And in this video I want to tell you how I found this wardrobe strategy. Then let me explain what it is and how it works, and also how I use it for myself so that you can get inspiration of how to use it for yourself. And in that context, I'm also going to share what I wish I knew before I started this specific wardrobe strategy. If we haven't met, I'm Sophia. I've been learning about money and investing for the past decade. On this channel, we explore the strategies how to build wealth without living frugal, because I don't like to live frugal, and feeling like you have a wardrobe that lets you look good on every occasion, I would say is definitely part of, not being frugal. This, by the way, is actually the third video of a little series I made about unconventional strategies to save more money, especially in the clothing context, because clothing is actually one of our top spending categories. So we do want to make sure we get the most of our buck, right? Now, just one more thing before we dive in. If you want to learn all the strategies that I used, not just to build my wardrobe, but to build a multiple six-figure net worth, you can sign up for my web class on financial freedom. It's live and it's free. There's a link down below. All right, now let me tell you the story of how I found this wardrobe strategy. There was a time not too long ago where I wasn't really satisfied with what I had to wear, despite my wardrobe being full. I tend to keep my clothes for a very long time. And so over the years, pieces here and there have accumulated. So I wasn't starting from scratch or anything. So it wasn't like I wanted to build my wardrobe because it was already there, but rather I wanted to add in pieces that would allow me to wear more of what I already had. Be able to combine it in more ways and in better ways. Especially and I don't know if you have that experience too, for pieces that spend a lot of time in my wardrobe and not so much time being worn. And of course, I also wanted to look best in my clothes. Do you know the sense of security when you know I have something to wear no matter what? I really like this feeling. But the way I used to go shopping is to go into a store and to look for the pieces that I liked, single pieces, and then buy them. But then I had a lot of pieces not really going together. You know what I mean? There's one color combination, for example, that I really don't like. I know it's a personal preference, but the combination of black and blue, I can't have it. And then each time I wanted to wear a blue jeans, and because of the weather, I had to wear a black coat to it. I was like, oh no, I need more options. I need more combinations or better combinations. And then I came across the wardrobe strategy, and it's called the Capsule Wardrobe. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but I'll explain it in a minute. But this was a light bulb moment for me, because that would mean that by adding just very few pieces to my wardrobe, I would be able to combine a lot of stuff that I already had with those pieces. So the idea behind this concept of a capsule wardrobe is that you own very few pieces, baseline pieces if you will, that you can combine in different ways so that you always have something to wear for almost all occasions. Now I have to admit, for some very specific outfits, I would still need a specific matching thing. But what this idea of the capsule wardrobe did for me, it definitely gave me guidance on where to start. Start in the sense that what do I do to wear more of what I already own? And it also gave me a lot of inspiration how to wear the pieces that I already had. And now what this did, in case of any doubt, I have some fallback pieces that always work. So if I do not know what to combine a specific item with, then I just grab one of those staple pieces, and most of the time this works. And this, by the way, this saves mental energy as well, because to decide each time what you're going to wear and if it's going to fit, that actually, it's a decision-making process. And decision-making for our brain, it takes up a lot of energy. And sometimes it can be fun, but sometimes it can also be annoying, especially when you're under time pressure. I even went so far as to create a style file on my phone. I put it in Apple Notes, and then I would just photograph myself in different outfits, and I would keep the ones that look particularly good. And so now I know if I want to wear a certain blouse or certain trousers, I know exactly what to combine it with to make it the most flattering for me. So that would also be a way to avoid that, that decision-making process. And this is again where the money part comes in. I saved money because instead of buying the missing piece for every outfit that I have, or not yet have in that case, I just had to buy, for example, one pair of pants that goes with a lot of different blouses. Do you know what I mean? And with those capsule wardrobe pieces, I also went mostly with the classics. And classics don't even have to be that expensive. At least not all of them. But I'll get back to that later. Alright, so now let me tell you what it is and how it works. So with a capsule wardrobe, what you basically get is a list of staple pieces. When you start researching about that topic, you will even find some downloadable PDFs from fashion influencers. Or that's what I did. You can just read different articles, like blog articles, or watch videos about it or whatever, and then create your own list. And then those staple pieces help to keep your closet lean, if I may say so, and your wallet too. But at the same time, they maximize your outfit options because they're all combinable. So it's pretty easy to mix and match. Examples of capsule wardrobe pieces would be a white t-shirt, a white button-down, a blue jeans, tailored trousers, a blazer, white sneakers, leather loafers, a belt matching the shoes, ideally, and a trench coat. And then you're set, for example, for a casual outfit with blue jeans and a white t-shirt. Or if you want to elevate it a little bit, which would probably be my choice when wearing a blue jeans, is to combine it with a white button-down, because I'm not really a jeans and t-shirt type of woman. Or you want to go for a smart casual look, then you can go for the tailored trousers. Then either the shirt or the white button-down, and then combined with the blazer and the white sneakers. Or you want to look more like chic or formal, then you can go with the tailored trousers, the white button-down, the blazer, the leather belt, and the leather loafers. So are you getting the picture so far? And then this capsule wardrobe exists in many different versions. There is a capsule wardrobe, for example, for your whole wardrobe. So if you are or want to be a minimalist, then this would absolutely work with all the examples we just talked about, plus maybe additionally a few pieces. There's also a capsule wardrobe for each season, for example, a spring capsule wardrobe or a winter capsule wardrobe. Or there's also capsule wardrobes for different themes, like a work capsule wardrobe or a holiday capsule wardrobe, and also for shoes and for jewelry. So when you need inspiration for any part of your wardrobe, you can just Google capsule wardrobe and then fill in blank whatever it is you're looking for. Now let me share more in detail how I use the capsule wardrobe. So I do not have the concept of this whole capsule wardrobe, because like I told you, I already had a full wardrobe and I didn't want to get rid of those pieces just to build, a capsule wardrobe, but rather to complement what I already had. Now what I'm wearing right now, this off-white cardigan, is definitely a capsule wardrobe piece because it's a neutral color, right? I can wear it in spring, autumn, maybe even winter. And I can combine this with a lot of different pieces, right? Now this, for example, not a capsule wardrobe piece. This blouse was a classical example of what I was talking about in the beginning. I went to the store, I saw it on the hanger, I love Burberry, I love the blouse, I bought it. But then it spent some time in my wardrobe because I didn't want to wear it with the blue jeans because of the black, and also because I felt like the style doesn't really fit. And then the capsule wardrobe piece I bought to complement this one was a black jeans. So black jeans works if I want to wear this blouse, in a more casual context. Or black tailored trousers would also work if I wanted to level it up a bit. But then this black jeans I bought, right, it goes with a lot of different tops. So that's what I meant by you maximize your outfit options without buying a piece for every outfit. One thing I also noticed when I went through this list of a capsule wardrobe, it also prepared me in a way for different scenarios. Do you know that tendency to go into a store and always look for the same thing? For me, for example, one of those items I look a lot for are blouses, but then you're at home in front of your wardrobe and you find yourself lacking t-shirts or maybe pants. And one thing I found on this list of the capsule wardrobe, for example, were white sneakers. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't have looked for white sneakers because I'm not really a sneakers kind of person. But I have to say, first of all, it's such a trend. So people are very much used to seeing other people in white sneakers. And I also have to say, this comes in really handy because then when I was looking for a pair of white sneakers and when I then do is I tend to look for the classics. So then I look up lists like classic white sneakers. And the one that I chose for me in this context was the Adidas Stan Smith one, because I felt like this one comes the closest to my personal style. And now I wear them every time I travel somewhere because I can walk in them for hours. And they're also not as sensitive to weather changes like other shoes I have. So this really brought a lot of value to my life. And that's also when I said that, you know, the classics don't even have to be that expensive. Also, when you look for a white t-shirt, for example, that's very affordable. Or another classic that I went for when I looked for the blue jeans, then I again looked for classic blue jeans models. And then, of course, one of the first ones that popped up was the Levi's 501. And I mean, this is a pair of jeans that has been around for more than 100 years. And it really is not that expensive. And so the way I see it, you're not really doing anything wrong with those pieces. Do you know what I mean? And with pieces like that, you know that they can stay in your wardrobe for a very long time without getting out of trend. And they can really add to what you already have. And also maybe even prepare for situations, you know, like in my case with the white sneakers that you haven't really thought of before. All right, so you already got that. When I look, you know, for those wardrobe pieces, I look for the classic. Now, like I said, in most cases, this doesn't even have to be that expensive. Now, in one particular example, it is, because when it comes to the trench coat, like for me, there's only one trench coat, you know, one camel trench coat, and that is the Burberry one. Now, this one's quite expensive, and I haven't bought it yet, but the moment's gonna come, because this has also been around for, I think, about 100 years. And now before I share what I wish I knew before I started the capsule wardrobe, let me go real quick about how you can use it for yourself. So I think if you've just finished university and now you're transitioning into your professional career and therefore also building a professional wardrobe, this can be very helpful. And for a case like this, you could look for, you know, work capsule wardrobe or professional capsule wardrobe. Also, if you're just starting out on your financial journey and you want to upgrade your life, but you want to upgrade your net worth even more, then I think a capsule wardrobe like the whole capsule wardrobe is a fantastic way to start. Because you only have a few pieces, you can combine them in every way possible, and the pieces on this list don't have to be expensive. So not like in the case of the Burberry trench coat. I would still go with quality though. So if you're looking for a white t-shirt, I would go for 100% cotton. But you can definitely find one under $100 or under $50. And again, like I already mentioned, like my example with the Levi's 501 blue jeans, also under $100, right? And the third scenario, if you're anything like me and you already have a full wardrobe, but you know, you're missing pieces to wear all of what you have. And then you can check which of the pieces on this list go well with what you already have. Like in my example, the black jeans and also black tailored trousers. They solved a lot of like top problems for me. But now here's what I wish I knew sooner before I started the capsule wardrobe. Now, this was one of the first concepts I stumbled upon, and only later I learned about body shape and color seasons. Now, only real short, because I already talk in detail about those other topics in other videos. Body shape is basically a categorization based on the proportion of your body. And this goes for men and for women as well. And then depending on the body shape you have, this may affect what you choose for those specific pieces, right? When I, for example, did the test, I found out that I have an hourglass body shape. And that means for a white t-shirt, for example, that what's most flattering for me is when it's fitted and when there's a V-neck, because those details flatter my body shape the most. Now, I bought my white t-shirt before I knew that, and I went for a straight cut. I can still make it work for example, by tucking it in. It's just that this knowledge may have influenced my choice when looking for this particular piece. Do you know what I mean? And the same goes for jeans and trousers. In my particular case, for example, with an hourglass body shape, what's the best version for me is a high-rise jeans or high-rise trousers. So low-waist pants just don't look good on me. So you can still go for the pieces, right? Like a white t-shirt and a blue jeans or a black jeans. But the details of those specific pieces, they matter, right? And the other thing I wish I'd known was this color season thing. And this is a categorization based on the features of your skin and your eye color and your hair color. And based on that, everyone has a rather like specific color palette that they can wear, and it makes them look radiant. This again goes for men and women. When I did this test, I found out that I'm a dark autumn, or at least I highly suspect I am, because I did this by myself, so I didn't have a professional look on it. But based on that result, I look best in muted and earthy tones, like this blouse, for example. And when it comes to the t-shirt, I can wear white, like this really, bright white, but an off-white would look slightly better on me, because it's less harsh and there's less of this contrast. And when it comes to the blue jeans, I told you that I went for the Levi's 501, and I went for the original color, which is rather like a light blue, a bright blue. And this color is not really in my palette. Now, it still works, I think, because it's such an icon. So I can definitely still wear it. And for me personally, a blue jeans is rather a, casual kind of outfit. And then it's absolutely okay if I don't look completely radiant. You know what I mean? But what I did, to be honest, is I added another blue jeans, which is more like a navy blue. So a pretty dark blue, which is better for me than those bright blues. But here again, you can still buy the pieces, right? Like a blue jeans and a white t-shirt. But the details matter. So the color details and the cut, and in some cases also the fabric. So because of those reasons, before you dive into the capsule wardrobe, I do recommend to figure out your body shape and your color season beforehand, because that way you make sure you buy, even for the capsule wardrobe, the most flattering pieces for you, and you don't waste any money, even on the capsule wardrobe, if that makes any sense. All right, I will link the playlist that also has the 2 videos about those 2 topics, color season and body shape, in it right here. So if you want to check it out, I will see you there. I hope this helps you making better financial choices when it comes to your clothing, at least in a way where what you spend your money on really serves you in the best way possible. If you're still here, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.